Not really. She didn't send me any questions so far, but maybe after the session she might have. So if there is any.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present to you what we call SAGE research methods here. And
Mhm.
so this is how normally I would present as a salesperson, a broad overview,
Mhm.
and then Ki Hyang can go through some of the how to use it. And I think you guys have gotten used to this. So sort of having access. So we now call methods of stage research methods as methods because it is much more broader than just stage research methods. It includes stage research methods video. It includes foundation for undergraduates itself. So today's topic will cover a variety of things that we want to talk about. How the SAGE research methods came, and why did we launch it in 2011? And then a little bit product overview of SAGE research method suite, the types of video we have, SAGE research methods discovery, data visualization and foundation. And then what are the audiences saying in that sense, and the discoverability, the type of business model, and the value add, and then the same thing about collaboration, and then finally a wrap up. Yep. Just stop
Yeah.
me anytime. If I can see your hand raised, then I will ask the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here you will see why did SAGE research methods came, because in the last session I told you that when our owner Sarah Miller McCune and her husband George Miller McCune set up SAGE, the first thing they published the little blue books and the little green books, which are RM books, qualitative and quantitative. So our patrons, our librarians, our faculty members are all coming to us and say, look, you are an expert in SAGE research methods. There's a gap in the market. Our social science professors and students are struggling to understand uh, research methods. They do not have anything that can help them. On the other hand, there is a lot of information on the science part, but there's very barely anything on the social science. So there was a gap in the market itself. And what was this gap in the market? There was a manual process of undertaking research. One of the main complaints from the users, the faculty and the students, was there was no effective guidance and support as they conduct research. So they literally had to rely on their mentors, they literally had to rely on their professors or their colleagues to help them to find, or their own, to find authoritative content. And then after that, they have to go manually and search. They don't have like an easy platform where they can use, and then when they put one methodology, it correlates all the other methodology that covers the entire research cycle. And that is one of the major things. So they spend long hours, a few years trying to do a research altogether because they were doing manually. And because of that, they we realized that there was no AI tools available, because the data on research methods are huge. They're plentiful out there. How do you bring all of that data and then make sure that when I type in survey, all the relevant content will come, and then you will tell me the complementary methods. You would be able to tell me what are the contrasting methods, and you will be able to tell me how can I go about. So you can give me step-by-step guide. But at the same time, journals were never tagged with the methodology that is attached. So we had to create machine learning and AI, and their SAGE research methods was born in 2011. And at that time, I was a sales director. I was the first one who sell this one to 15 customers in Australia in December in 2001. So that was like, the major highlight for all of us. So what does SAGE research methods answer when it comes to the users? It provides social science research at every level. That's what they want. They didn't want at a certain level, but they want at every level. They want the ability of students to learn how to conduct research. They also want to have on the same platform, how researchers can go to SAGE research methods to find answer to conduct research. And at the same time, when it comes to training, when librarians have to train, so you have a research librarian who is training people on research skills, how to undertake research skills. We want something that the librarians can use. So SAGE research methods encompasses the three main primary audience, which is the librarians, the faculty, as well as the students. So in a nutshell, what our patrons was asking is, I want a one-stop shop. Whether I'm looking for a definition, whether I'm looking for a case study, whether I'm teaching data sets, or whether I want research methods to come alive in a form of a video. So that was where we started off. So how do we go about this? So in 2011, we had SAGE research methods, which is now called SAGE research methods core. Then subsequently, we added cases, and then after that, we started adding data sets. And then subsequently, we start adding videos, and what we are doing 2021 new. And then we, based again on the gap in the market where undergraduates struggle, we created SAGE Research Methods Foundation, which is almost like an encyclopedia. So the print form is a 10-volume research methods encyclopedia. This is a digital format of it, but it's not as if it's a PDF, but it's a searchable function that you have in it. So the bottom part you see here is the core that was launched first. So 900 of SAGE books and references were actually digitized. And then we had 50 short videos, and included in the core is project planner. How do you plan a project? And which statistical tools you want to use? There are guidelines to teach you that. So the students don't have to do that. So initially when it was launched, we don't have we have a glossary of the type of methodology, but we don't have a glossary of explaining how you can use each of these. For example, in what situation do I use action research kind of a thing? Yeah. So now we have created that as well. So to answer to people who have never used this before, and then every year new content is at about 50. And then we came across people saying to us, look, yeah, I think this is fantastic because the methods map, which is the nucleus, the very core of SAGE research methods, does all the function. But I also want to see real life cases where how people who have come across obstacles or difficulty in certain kind of methodology, how do they overcome it? How do they get about it? So we designed 2,100 multidisciplinary cases on research. And
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah.
900 books are textbooks or just books about research methods? Is
books. Books, not textbooks. So the
not textbooks.
Yeah, not textbook. Yeah. So they are our books on research methods. So the little blue books, the little green books are digitized only here, but our Cresswell book on research methods, our Kumar, are not digitized in here. Okay.
So, okay.
Yeah. So, and then that's why if you have SAGE Catalyst, and then you start talking to both of them, yeah. So anyway, so 30 new cases on average are added every year. And then the biggest obstacle that everyone faced was how to use the data sets that they find. There are a lot of population data sets that is available there. There are health information data sets available from the government. There are plenty, they're all free. But what we are doing here is that we take all of these free data sets that is coming out from almost across the world. We make them, we curate them, we make them into an easy form for the users to be able to practice any analytical methods to extract the data to be used in their research. So while the data sets are available there, it is not curated for one. It is also not being cleaned. So what we do is that we clean it, we tag it, we make sure that it's easily searchable for the person who is using and finding. For example, if I want to do, I think I talked about it the last time, was domestic violence, and then I want to look at the stats. How many women are there in this state in India? And then I can go to the population. But if I go there, I have to really go and drill. Whereas with these data sets, not only can I get the information at a click of a button, but I'm also able to practice how to analyze those data to make it more meaningful for my research. Yeah.
Okay.
So videos. So these are the 6 videos that we have. And research ethics and medicine and health are ones that we are launching this year. One of them is in June 2021, and the other one is a later part of 2021. So the last 2 will be launched this year. The rest have already been launched. So the core was the first thing that we launched, where there are 484 videos on every aspect, qualitative, quantitative, mixed methods included in there. Then people want to have practical research and academic skills. So here you have approximately 60 hours of video, specifically focusing on research design, whether you want to master general skill sets or computer skill sets or study skill sets, whatever skill sets that you need to undertake a research, this video provides you with that. So each of them are sold separately. Data science, big data analytics, and digital methods, 120 hours. And then this is basically big data. Yeah. How do you have computational social science data, which is now called social data science? How you take the big data, analyze it, and what are the methodologies? So inside here, there are things about what we call Python programming. There are things about R programming that is there. They don't teach you how to use it, but they're telling you these are the software that you can use. Or even, I think yesterday when I learned, is a Lumber Mart. So those kind of software, they are giving you what to use for what kind of projects that is there and how do you go about using it. Yeah. Market research. So if you want to do marketing research, so anyone in the B and M courses, the MBA students, this teaches them how to do market research. But increasingly, why we launch research ethics is the questions of ethics in research is becoming very critical, only because the fact that we are seeing a high rate of plagiarism, a high rate of misconduct in the amount of research output from across the world. And so it is becoming a major concern for every university. And so we launched this ethics program. So it doesn't cover only ethics in research, but when doing research, it's about abuses in child or human, right? What do you do?
Yeah,
like,
right.
for example, there was this guy in the south of China who claimed he has cloned a human being. That's not ethical, right? So those kind of one that the academic community must come to question. And then we are not the primary STM publisher, but this one encompasses 60 hours of medicine and health. So it covers various aspects of clinical, and we also have various aspects of epidemiology research, and then as is written here, interventional observation studies with systematic reviews and meta-analysis. So this allows anyone in a format of the medicine to be able to use it. So this again is sold separately. The whole idea. Go ahead.
Am I correct as each video is sold separately as a pick and choose format?
No. So so if you buy core, that's core you buy. And then you can't pick one video from core or one video from because what happened is built around a pedagogy. And because the pedagogy is linked, we can't break it up into one video. But it's sold individually in the sense that you can buy practical research and academic skills video. You can buy research ethics video. You can buy the code. But yeah, so you can buy. So the price doesn't have that, but we do have what we call Sage Explorer, where if people want to buy all of these SRM and videos itself, we do give a huge discount itself. You can buy everything if you want to. At the moment, only universities in America has bought everything. But of course, in Central Asia, whatever they pay for, we are not expecting our friends in Central Asia to pay the same price, and the price will be lower. But again, it really depends on the universities, what they're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the idea of this is basically to bring the very complex research methods, statistics, as well as evaluation to life. Because we realize students of today, when it's visually, they tend to remember much more easily than when it's all written off in form itself. So this makes it far more easier because you can stop the video, you can cut the video, you have a transcript. So if you can't understand what the person is saying, you can see the transcript light up, which you can download. Yeah.
It's very good. Yes.
Yeah. So data visualization. So this is a new one as well. So very simply, it allows the data to be viewed in a gallery across all the different types of visualization in a chart form. So here are the 5 that I've mentioned here. So categorical, hierarchical, temporal, many of these. But what it comes with, it gives you tips on the presentation style. How do you do annotation? And when you do annotation, what are the bad examples are given in there? So that is a good part of this. So it's not just data that is presented in the chart form, but it's data that helps you to digest the information and look at what is to be done and what should not be done. And clearly, what is very important is that you do one step, it will prompt you to do the next step. So how do you create the data visualization? It offers you a step-by-step as if there was somebody taking your hand and saying, press here, this is what happens. So this is where AI comes into very high gear because the AI immediately recognize what you're trying to do and make suggestions. And then it will ask you, are you looking for this? And you put yes, and then it will lead you to this. If you put another answer, it will lead you to another outcome. So this is very intuitive. I think that's really fantastic about data visualization content that we have produced. This one is foundation. So this is basically very much for the undergraduates. Or anyone who wants to learn research methods for the first time. Research methods, as we all know, is interdisciplinary. It covers all the spectrum, not necessarily social science per se. So here, if you want to find definition of words, how are they used, in what context, there are 4 million words of research methods that has been actually created and digitized in here. The beauty of this is that they are all in themes. You know that, okay, if you are doing a survey, what is exactly all of these are required for. And again, like data visualization, we guide the student. We tell the students, okay, you look this one, what is next for you to do? What is next? What are the concepts? So we are building knowledge base here. We are building the understanding of the correlation between each of the methodologies so that the student can become a much better researcher at some point in time. So that's the whole idea. And this is the only one in the world that we have. No one else have this. And it's quite phenomenal.
Am I correct? It's done by AI. Yeah, AI guides the student what to do next. Yeah?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So here you have. So again, what other people are saying? What about discoverability? So what do the end users tell us they are using Sage research methods or methods as a whole? Project work for graduate students, right? And professors, how do I teach content on methods? So help me to teach and make it as simple, because statistics, unless you are a science student, statistics can be really difficult to understand. And how do you make it fun? How do you make it interactive, right? I mean, I'm a science student, so I know I love numbers, but when I talk to my social science friends, they were like, oh my God, that is terrible, because the methodology involved is, to me, is exciting, but some people is not. So this is basically what they call is teaching methods to someone who has no idea, right? And then also telling the professor, these are the content you should recommend to your graduate students. And then again, I think we talk about it, AI algorithms to guide researcher or even the students to different methodologies. For the undergraduates, we talk about it is helping them to create, so as the name implies, creating a foundation of understanding the different types of methods and understanding how they differ from each other, how they complement each other, and in what circumstances are they to be used. Yeah. And then the last one is an academic librarian is so involved in research, because these days librarians are not like the librarians of yesterday, where they sit and, you know, check in books and they're doing very much research, as like yourself. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we are going deeper and deeper to the teaching process. What about going to other aspects of university all the time?
Exactly, because this increases the value of the librarian, isn't it? Yeah, because the librarian is no longer get me this journal, get me this book. The librarian is now a partner to the faculty, and the librarian is now an integral part of the academic ecosystem, and actually sort of encouraging, but also imparting that information, that knowledge to the students and to other academics. I think so as well, because I think it's a lot of university, you see a transition between the more mature professors who still cling on to their dear hearts for the print, and then the younger ones who are very, you know, technology savvy. And how do you bridge that gap? You know, I think that's one of the things that, you know, is fascinating. So for librarian, yes, I'm spot on, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So discoverability, what is important for a librarian is marked records, is downloadable. Again, alumni access is available. And so when I was presenting another product to my staff and asked them to critique on my on business cases, for example, they asked me what happens if a walk-in student comes in to the library. If the person is accessing on the library system, then they are able to get access to it. Yeah, because they are logging, unless it is a locked out, unless the library locked out. But the idea of Sage research method is unlimited access. So walk-in users are able to get access unless the university decided that no one from outside can even come to the university itself. This typically doesn't happen in a university, but things like the National Library of China, the Shanghai Library, they buy. So those are the kinds that usually are called walk-in users as well. And all the content is fully indexed by open source. So Google, Bing, Yahoo. And one of the things that we are looking now is for our journals, we have already started looking at local search engine, for example, working with Never in Korea, and then working with the Chinese search engines, Weibo, and stuff like that. So the next step, we'll look and see how does Sage research methods work in other countries in line and in collaboration with the local search engines that we have. And again, indexation is provided by ProQuest, now Clarivate ProQuest, Summons, and EBSCO Discovery Services itself. So these sort of answers the main questions that librarians would like to have a look at. So options. So you asked me just now, what is it like? So you can buy Sage Research Methods core, you can buy Sage Research Methods cases, you can buy Sage Research Methods datasets or each of the individual journals, or you can buy Sage Research Methods suite, which is the datasets, the cases and the core, or you can buy the upgrades to them. But if you buy 2 or more, then we'll give you a discount. But this is just a leasing option. That means when you cancel the subscription, you lose access to everything else. You have nothing to it. But if you have the CapEx and you want to say, okay, I want to pay, we can quote you a 6-year pricing, what is called purchase to own, so that you have it for the 6 year. Obviously, every new content we add, every new video or every new modules we add into Sage Research Methods will not be added. Right? So the last one answers your question, which is actually Explorer, is building bridges to knowledge, where if you want to buy all of the methods content or all of the business and management content or all of the campus, we do have a pricing model, which is a very, I mean, for example, someone will pay $500,000 US. And then because if they buy all of these, the discount can go up to say 50 or 60% of the purchase price. And so we do offer something like this as well, if you're looking. And again, when it comes to Central Asia, we are just starting. And so anything that is new is something that we all learn. Yeah. So, and then we will have to depend on you to tell us what is your library, your budget situation, because our role in Central Asia is to empower you, to empower your patrons to be able to do research and raise the level of research, and hence raise the ranking of the university in the Times Higher Education ranks that we see every year, right? So how so this is again, so THE is Times Higher Education. How has empowered universities, right? What can Sage do to help you to meet your KPIs? So these are just some of the things that people have told us before we go into the process. These are really outstanding stats. So from the 150 to 300 students, researchers, and libraries and professors that we surveyed, 90% say that Sage Research Methods saved them time, increased their confidence and understanding of research methods, and reduce the frustration when they can't even understand stats, for example. So these is powerful. The 10% struggle just getting understanding even the basic methods, because with everything you must know at least one method when you're doing your research, and then the system will be able to guide you. But if you know nothing, it's going to be a hard guess here. In terms of improving grades for students, diversify your skill sets, whether as a student or as a professor, enhance the quality of the research, and make sure that you achieve better outcomes when you are teaching and learning. 73% registered satisfaction level. So that is quite high, considering the fact that a lot of our customers also come from non-English speaking countries. Yeah, so I mean, Australia is our biggest market. We have Singapore as well and Hong Kong, but we also have Japan. We also have China, which are non-speaking, and Middle East. Some of them also use. I wouldn't count Dubai, because Dubai is primarily English speaking. Countries like Saudi Arabia, where we can see quite a fair bit where English is not necessarily the first language itself. When it comes to engaging with RM, to understand RM, research methods curriculum, and eventually publish articles itself, 98% rated that SRM is a must-have and has served the patrons very well. So that is astounding number. So every year, Sage sells many products. This is the only product that we rarely see customers canceling. Sometimes we see them canceling journals, but Sage Research Methods, very rarely we see them canceling. Yeah. So as far as the library is concerned, the librarians always felt that with sage research methods, and we talked about it just now when you were talking about the role of librarian, the value of a librarian now in the academic ecosystem has become much more better, is much more improved. They are seen as an equal, not as someone I go to just ask for a book or an article. Yeah. So this is how we can help you, right? We can do product presentation. We can give you a trial. We have a dedicated person to work with the university in terms of training, quizzes, support on justifying the modules to finance what exactly what you need. We can give you the tools to do. And then because as part of our sustainability goals, we are moving to e-agreements. We don't have print anymore. We don't use paper anymore. We use digital signatures as well. And then pre-selling is as important is important, but post-selling is even more important. So then we will come back to the library and say, so can we plan what you like us to do in the next 1 year when you have subscribed, and then let's see how much of activities and trainings and sales collaborations we could do. Could we run courses? Could we invite somebody to come and speak? Could we do things like that? I think that's a lot that we could do.
Exactly.
So this is my final slide. And so this is, when it comes to this ecosystem, what does Sage Research Methods do? You press the buzzer, faculty say, it equips me with the skills needed to work independently with confidence. And researchers with students as well, and competence, right? I can do my research project confidently, and I know I'm on the right track. It also makes sure that you understand and you have instructions to guide you when it comes to the methodologies, and making it a shorter time. I always remember when we launched Sage Research Methods in 2011, University of Malaya, there was a chief librarian. She was taking her PhD, and she said, if only I had Sage Research Methods, I would have reduced the time taken to produce my thesis paper by more than half. And this is how powerful research methods is, because it really sort of, picks up what you are looking for and guides you accordingly. And it's really effective and engaging as well. So for librarian at the university, we talk again about that. It empowers the library to become an equal partner. And so librarian can go and say, there's a development that you need. I can give you research skills development. Provide the support, increase their value as a business unit as well. That's a key part. There are some librarians who are quite happy to be taking the backseat, but more and more librarians want to be treated as an equal. And then the final part is the ranking of the university. You want quality, you want quantity research output. That justifies people, that attracts other professors to come and teach, that attracts international students to come. That's what you want, and that's what Sage Research Methods answer. And these are comments given by existing customers. Yeah. So that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Rosalia, for the informative presentation.
Maybe Rosalia, I will just show them the project planner, or maybe the methods map. Just show them, or shall I just do it another time?
If you want to show, you can show.
Okay. So remember just now, Rosalia. Okay, let me.
Correct.
Yeah, let me share my screen now. Is it coming? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this. Okay. So this is the methods. Okay. You can see that the platform is very simple. So on top of, I would say, very large volume of information behind the platform. Okay, what Rosalia here is the research tool. These are the beautiful research tools to help your users to be very successful. For example, the methods map. Remember, Rosalia mentioned that this is one of the core things that your user would love it. Okay, so when we click on the methods map, right, you will see this bubble. You can see that it's moving. Can you see that? Okay, and this bubble, right, if you go through it, right, you will realize that this is what your researchers every day, every step that they've been using, and this is amazing. So I just give you an example. For example, okay, we talk about sampling, right? When we do research data, we do about sampling, right? Sampling will fall under data collection, for example. So under the sampling, right, you can see that straight away, right, they got so many methods, right? And when we look into sampling, right, you know what? I always I would say I would love to, during my training, I would love to challenge the professor. I say, how many types of sampling do you understand? Now a lot of people, they'll just count, right? Then they'll say, okay, 5, 8, When they really look into the sampling, right, they were amazed by the amount of samplings. You can see that's available. So actually, none of us actually know everything, under the sun. So these actually methods map, right, really provide our user the concept terrain, understand that, how are the things that, how we do purposive sampling, probability sampling, how to do the population sampling, etc., etc. And for example, if today I just go into one of the population sampling, for example, you can see that it can narrow down to population parameters. Or maybe I say, okay, I'm fine, I'm happy, and I'm just go into the population sampling. With just one click, right, straight away, all the informations under the methods that's related about the sampling all came out. You can see that we provide the books, we provide the encyclopedia, right? And you can even provide a lot more, including the videos. Can you see that? So this is actually amazing, seriously. A lot of times, right, sometimes your user may find that, oh, if I read a book, it can be very dry. But if I read, watch a video, right, they actually ensure that their learning process, right, is very engaging and so much easier. And for example, today, if I just go into marginalized populations, just an example, right? Remember just now, Rosalia did mention that, okay, if today you are reading a particular book, right, and happen that you have other Sage resources, right, Rosalia did highlight the fact that Sage Recommends, right, will be able to pull out all other resources that currently you have been subscribing. Can you see that? Yeah, so they are kind of like helping you to put all the searches, right, together at one go, rather than you've been wasting time to do the search all over again. And I remember in our last sessions, okay, I mean yourself and your friends, right, okay, and your colleagues, right, all mentioned that, okay, they would like to actually understand the research process, right? And this project planner really help our users in terms of like, step-by-step process of guiding them. So if today your university is really going to go for research excellence, increasing your ranking, I would say that this is amazing, including like, for example, how you're writing up your article. You can see it here. Okay, for example, here you see these are all the relevant step-by-step process that we will teach our users how to do it, right? So it's like very straightforward tips, and then if they would like to find out more, they can just do click, and then they will actually go deep into the database and they'll explore a lot more information. I'm sure that your user will benefit this tremendously by having this. Yeah.